is the lovey David Tennant, my favourite Doctor Who-ish, at an LGBT awards ceremony, playing to the gallery, incredibly rude about Kemi Badenoch, the Equalities Minister, saying he wished she didn't exist. He wished she'd just shut up because of her views on trans. Clapped and cheered and roared, but her comeback, really quick and tough.
She was absolutely brutal in her response. She said she was fed up of Labour lovies hitting out in this way. That did he not realise that as a rich, white, privileged actor, it looked pretty awful for him to be calling for her, a black woman, the only black woman in cabinet, to essentially not exist. And so she was absolutely very strong in responding to him, and she said this is a taste of what's to come under Labour. And I think that's a fair conclusion to draw if you're Kemi Badenoch, if you are a woman who thinks Labour can't be trusted on this issue. Labour have not denounced David Tennant so far. Liz Kendall's been out this morning and she just kind of dodged the issue. And so I think unless they come out and condemn him wholesale, they do have questions to answer on that.
And he is a Labour lover. He's a cheerleader for Labour. He's supported Labour before. He wouldn't have said that about J.K. Rowling, would he? He wouldn't dare. No. Because she's hugely popular, massive following around the world, but pick on a Tory minister, get a cheap laugh in the room. But
I think this is a problem, isn't it? In the old days, you used to be told as an actor, don't talk about politics, because for everybody you win over, you lose somebody else, and it ruins your brand. But then with the advent of social media, actors suddenly realised that this is a really good way to enhance my brand. And what they don't really think is they're wading into really complicated issues for a bit of personal PR. And I think, actually, when you are attacking our black cabinet minister, our black woman who has campaigned on this issue from a very genuine place and has been absolutely consistent, and you're just doing it to whip up a bit of, personal PR for yourself in the room, it's a really silly, dangerous way to go.
And, sorry, Ellie.
No, I was just going to say Badenoch has come out with this warning, as you just alluded to, essentially saying, look at the treatment of Rosie Duffield. This is just an example of where the Labour Party is going. There'll be this lurch to the left, if you like.
Rosie Duffield has been treated incredibly badly.
Was the Labour MP for Canterbury, the candidate?
Yeah, she's remaining a candidate for the Labour Party, but clearly she has had a really difficult time. She has to have security. She's not been able to take part in hustings because of the threats against her. She did have talks with Keir Starmer recently, after 3 years being kind of left out in the cold. Those talks did not go well. She's still not really had any support from the party. And then we saw Keir Starmer, when he was asked about, what is a man, what is a woman, after all these years of women in his own party telling him, the ins and outs of this debate, he only could seemingly come to a conclusion when Tony Blair, a man, told him what a woman was.
Yeah, extraordinary.
Yeah, so it's clear that women don't really have, influence with him in perhaps the way they should.
And yet his deputy leader is a woman. His shadow chancellor is a woman.
Angela Rayner is somebody who believes that trans women are women, as do many other members of the shadow cabinet, women that you would expect to be on the side of feminists in this argument, but they're not. And so you have to question Labour's record on this and what will happen when they get into government if they win next week. I think there are questions to answer. They still can't answer very basic questions about what they would do on this. They're talking about ending conversion therapy. That could cause problems for kids who feel confused, and access to therapy. Hilary Cass, who did that big review, she said that could have a big effect on therapists and how far they feel they can go when they're talking to children in case they end up falling foul of that law. It's a really complicated issue, and the Labour Party have not come up with any proper answers on this.